Vegas has my heart, man.
It means the world to me. It's my home.
It's everything. It really is.
Las Vegas just has so much opportunity.
This is home. Las Vegas is home, man.
It is a land of opportunity.
Las Vegas has been my home for 20 years now.
You can have a crazy idea in the morning, and by mid-afternoon, you have a bunch of people on your side helping get it done.
Las Vegas is home. Las Vegas is home.
All right, guys, we're back. Today, I have Tanna Loder in the building. She is the owner of Gentleman Jax's Men's Grooming Lounge.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. And thank you for the lovely tour yesterday. I got to go down yesterday and view this beautiful barbershop and salon. I want to emphasize and because I didn't even realize that they had to be separated.
Yep. We have barbers, master barbers, and stylists, and with the difference of the licenses, we have to be on separate floors. So we do have a glass wall divider that divides our barbershop and our salon.
Yeah, it's beautiful. She even there's like a little bar area, it's just very, it reminded me of like it should belong on the strip from like the presentation and the people that were in there as well.
We have a real classy place, good energy. We have a wonderful staff. I'm just very grateful that we have a great, strong team. We like to keep it more of a lounge. So when our guests come in, they come in and get a haircut and they sit and relax. We usually spend 45 minutes to an hour with each guest for a haircut.
That's something I noticed on the pamphlet that you gave me, is that there's a time limit that's attached to, or at least like a time minimum, which is kind of cool because usually when you go in and you get a haircut or some sort of service like that, you're hoping for it to be at least a little bit of like a certain amount of time where it's like a value for your dollar.
For sure. So we spend 45 minutes to an hour with each haircut. It comes with a shampoo, scalp massage, face massage, hot towel treatment, and then a neck and shoulder massage. So we created an atmosphere and not just a haircut. So most men don't really spend too much time on themselves. So we wanted to make sure that they get what they need just to relax and to be able to go back home and be a good husband or, boyfriend and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So, or family man or whatnot. So we just want them to come to a place, have a little bit of relaxation, with their haircut.
Yeah. It seems like the age of the caveman is starting to diminish and men are becoming a little more aware of upkeep and presentation, especially in Las Vegas.
They are. We offer waxing, facials, manicures, pedicures, colors, shaves. So we're a full service men's grooming lounge. There's some places, you can just go get a haircut and a shave, but we offer everything for skin and hair.
That's awesome. Also do want to thank one of the listeners for setting this conversation up.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate him. And when he offered, to tell me to get you on the show, there's a dynamic that I noticed that was very interesting, is that a woman owns a men's grooming salon, because when you look throughout history, typically it's usually the men who are dominating the women industries as far as management, ownership, and so forth. So I think that's a really cool dynamic.
Thank you. I've been in the industry for 17 years. I have about 15 years of management experience. And after working for somebody else, for so many years, I thought I was at the top of where I could reach. So the only thing greater was to open my own salon. So that's what I did. And also I learned so much over the years of managing and how to treat people and our workers. And we all have to work. So we want to create an atmosphere where our employees can come in and actually enjoy being at work. We try to keep it fun as much as possible and professional at the same time.
That's awesome. Have you been doing men's hair your whole entire life, or did you do women's as well?
Yeah, I started out with women. I would say the first 2 to 3 years of my career, I did women's hair and also men. And my clientele of men just grew faster than the women. And there was a new men's salon that opened up where I was originally from. So I started there.
Where are you originally from?
I'm actually originally from Iowa.
Okay.
Small town of
Did not
Iowa.
expect that.
I know. Our population in our town was probably 15,000.
Wow. Small town girl.
Yes. So K through 12 was all in one school building. There was about 28 to 30 students in each class. So it was very small. So I grew up there and ended up moving on to a city that had about 150,000 people and took the management position of a men's grooming salon. So that's where I kind of got a lot of my experience from. So it was a good opportunity, and I'm glad I took it. I would still be there, but I just wanted to get out of the Midwest.
And was Vegas the first pinpoint that you wanted to go to, or was it just somewhere that you had stopped and ended up staying?
You know, I was either going to come to Vegas or it was Arizona. So I decided on Vegas, and I thought, you know, I can go to Arizona when I retire. Let me just come to Vegas. We'll see how it goes. I started at a men's salon here, and I just thought to myself, wow, I could just do so much better, you know, and I just worked on it and worked on it. It took me 5 years to get this salon open, since I've only been out here for 5 years. But I wanted to get a good area of where traffic would be, and also I had to get familiar with Las Vegas before I would open up my own.
Yeah, you picked a great area. It was Rainbow, and it's like right off the Trop.
Yeah, you know, Tropicana is it's maybe 5 blocks down in Hacienda. So we're right in the center of Hacienda and Tropicana. So right in front of Spring Valley Hospital.
Yeah, it's the big growing area in Vegas is Spring Valley, west, southwest area.
Yes,
so it is prime location.
Lots of traffic. So, and there's a lot of new businesses coming in. In and Out is just down the street. They've got California Fish Grill that's open and a few more restaurants. So we're excited.
So you sat on Gentleman Jax's for 5 years?
Well, when I moved out here, after seeing the lack of, I don't even know how to say it, the customer service, you know, at some of the salons that I've worked at, I just, you have to take care of your customer, because the customer is the reason you're open, you know. So after working at a few places, I thought, you know what, I can do this. I've got to get a plan, get a business plan. So I would say about 1.5 to 2 years before I opened my doors, that's when I got real serious about having a plan and getting this going.
Yeah, the staple of Vegas is hospitality,
Yes,
right? So
it is.
that's first and foremost. It started on the Strip, and now it's slowly trickling outwards to the rest of the city. And that's for any industry, not just hair salon or gambling or clubs. It's practically anything.
Right. And also, you know, we cater to our customers. We're very friendly. We go above and beyond to make their day even better. So when they come in, we get a lot of Yelp reviews. If anybody is familiar with Yelp, go to Yelp.
Yeah, 20 or 76 5-star ratings. I looked at that right before this. Yeah. We
We really value our customers, and, you know, we take each customer and want to make sure they get the best service. So we value quality over quantity. So we're okay with doing less volume, but giving that customer a better service, because we're going to retain more customers that way.
Yeah, you want to keep them not just after one haircut. You want to make them a lifelong member and a friend.
Yeah, of course. And that's how it starts. You know, you get a client that sits in your chair, and I always ask them, you know, what do you do for work? Do you have kids? Are you married? You know, we just start a conversation, and you get to know that person, and you start building a good friendship. You know, I know a lot of my clients' wives. They've brought their wives in to meet me. We love it. We give them champagne or wine. We have that at the shop for them. You know, if they do bring their girlfriend or wife in.
Yeah, your barber, your hairstylist. It's almost like your pseudo therapist now in the days.
Yeah.
Especially that first haircut that I went to. Caddy, if you're listening, shout out. That's my hair guy. But going out and getting a haircut after 2.5 months of quarantine, it was awesome. It was just like you finally get to talk to them, and you get really deep philosophical and conversations. That's kind of how mine and Caddy's conversations go.
Yeah, you really get to know your guest. I did have a gentleman. He had heart surgery, I think right before the quarantine started. to shut down. So he was anxiously waiting to come back in when we opened to get a haircut because he hasn't seen his grandkids. And he just wanted to look good for his grandkids and his kids. So it's just more than a haircut to us.
Yes, that's prime. And the relationship as well. Before Caddy, Camille was my hairstylist. She was the only person that cut my hair for the first 26 years of my life. So usually when you can get those customers, it's because they're considered family at this point. You invite them out to birthdays and milestones.
Oh yeah. I've got a gentleman, he's going to have a baby here soon. So I can't wait to hear how the delivery went and everything. So yeah, you get to know your customers well.
It's just another form of communication, just like what we're doing here with podcasting. You know, it's like you're excited to learn more about them and see what kind of information that they'll delve and give into.
Right.
So what's the inspiration behind the name Gentleman Jax's?
Well, I wanted something kind of catchy, something a little bit kind of fun and for Vegas. So I was at work one day and a couple of the girls, we were just chatting and we were like, I had a name picked out, but it wasn't cool. I'm not going to lie. It was just kind of plain. I can't even remember what the name was. So I'm like, let's kind of think about a new name. And one of the girls was like, what about Gentleman Jax? And I'm like, you know what? I like that. It's catchy. It's kind of Vegas-y, loungy in a way. So I got on, what was it? Google to see if I can purchase the name, but I would have to spell it different. But anyways, that's how we came up with the name. I love it. So
I do like it. When I hear Jax, I think of Sons of Anarchy.
Yes,
Did you ever see that?
I mean, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it. I don't really watch TV. It's crazy.
Hey, you're the same boat as me. I'm slowly trickling away. I watch maybe an hour before I go to bed, and that's it.
Yeah. I'm just so busy. I have 2 kids and then the salon, and so I'll watch the news, and that's about it.
Oh boy, I hope you're not watching CNN or Fox.
No, and it's briefly too. I just need to know what's kind of going on, any updates, and then I kind of shut it off. There's just so much negativity in the world, and I'm not a negative person. I always stay positive. So whatever we can get out of this COVID-19, we just got to stay as positive as we can.
Yeah, I'm sure being a business owner, you have to keep positivity with just the dramatic changes that have been going on. How has COVID affected you guys' business?
Well, I was very fortunate. My team all came back. I did have one girl, she moved, but I was very blessed that everybody returned. We were super, super, super busy for the first month and a half, and you can tell it's kind of dying down a little bit. But we do go above and beyond. We take temperature checks of our employees as they come in. They also wear masks throughout the whole day. Our guests come in with masks. They also get their temperatures checked. Every chair is wiped down and sanitized before the guest sits down. Also a clean cape after each client. We also sanitize all the shampoo bowls, the barber chairs, the doors regularly. We provide, I believe, the safest environment for salons and barbershops.
Off of personal experience, I haven't experienced a personal temperature check outside of going into casinos.
Correct.
So you could say that's casino grade level security.
Well, I want to protect, my team and also the customer that comes in. We have to be safe. The coronavirus, it's real, it's getting people sick. So everybody is masked. When they come in, also when they get their service, unless they're getting a beard trim or a shave, they can take down their mask and then we just put it back on just to ensure everybody's safety.
You don't think that dampens the service of the haircut or shave or anything like that?
It is a little uncomfortable for a client because I do talk to them. I get their feedback and stuff, but they are happy that we're doing the steps that we are. Yeah,
just to provide security because COVID right now, the response, people are completely split, even though that this is a real thing and people are dying and it's resurging as well. So
yes, people are dying. It's real in that aspect. So we just have to protect everybody and the safety of our team and our customers.
Yeah, I like that you're going above and beyond.
Yeah, and I know my team really appreciates that too. At first, they thought, oh, wow, we get our temperatures checked and we have to wear masks every day. But now they see why. They're seeing it because look at the casinos opened up and there was a lot of sicknesses that accumulated from that. There wasn't masks being worn. So whatever we can do at Gentleman Jack's, we definitely do just for everybody's safety.
Yeah. And now, before you'd mentioned that it seemed like recently there was a little less of the amount of customers. Do you think that's because everything has closed back down, like the bars and people aren't going out as much?
I think we were really busy right away because everybody really needed a haircut. So they came in, they got their haircut, and now that it's spreading out here in Las Vegas, they might not be in as often. They might just come in as needed. Let's say for you, for instance, how often do you get your haircut?
It's typically every 2.5 weeks.
Okay, so every 2.5 weeks. Now we might see you in maybe every fourth week. You know, it could be because of the COVID. You may just want to stay home and safe, or financially.
Yes,
you know,
that's also
everything's
true.
shutting down out here. So financially, you know, you might not be able to go get your hair cut twice a month anymore. It might just be once a month. So I think that's why we're a little slower, but we're still doing good. We've only been open for a year. So we're very grateful that we had a full year to establish a good clientele base because they are coming in. And our store is still growing. It's just a little different, you know, with all the restrictions with COVID, because on Yelp, our reviews, we're very friendly. We're very outgoing. We're always checking on our customers if they're sitting in the lounge, if they want to drink. Well, now our lounge isn't open, you know, so they recommend the customers to sit outside in the patio chairs or in their cars. If we do have an available extra chair, we definitely make sure that they're seated inside. I hate to have to ask somebody to sit outside.
Yeah, in this heat too.
Yeah, because it's getting hot and that's your customer. You know, and our motto's always been like, we're always friendly, we always go above and beyond, but then we're asking them to sit outside. But they get it. They totally get it. We want to keep our doors open.
Yeah, 100%. So prior to COVID, since you opened, how had the business been doing since opening?
You know, we opened a year ago, May 3rd. So to be very honest, we're busier than some of the salons that I've worked at. The 2 salons that I worked at, we're busier than they are. So I feel like we're doing a good job.
Do you think that's stems from bringing over your own clients, or just the overarching need for this kind of service in Las Vegas?
I would say the overall need of this service. There's a lot of barbershops, don't get me wrong. They're on every block, every corner, but we're different. It's not a quick service just to come in and get a quick cut. You're offered a beverage. We have shampoo bowls that the back lays down, so you can get a nice, comfortable shampoo, scalp massage, face massage, hot towel treatment. We value our guests. It's not just in and out. We want to keep them in there for 45 minutes to an hour. You guys deserve it. You guys really don't do too much to yourselves like women do. We go get our lashes done, our nails done, pedicures, everything regularly. And a man really doesn't do that. So what he does do is a haircut. So if we can incorporate some of that stuff in with his haircut to, you know, make him maybe even a better person that day. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little weird. I don't know. Yeah. I'm always about good energy. And when guys come in, if they are a little upset or they had a bad day, usually by the time they leave, they may have had a little bit of whiskey and they got their hair cut and
they're a little bit more open to other things.
They're very happy by the time they leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, before I'd looked this up and you gave me this pamphlet, there's a lot of services or additional services that I had no idea about, and I would have never even explored without you showing me this pamphlet or even just adding it on as an additional service. So that's it's really awesome to see.
We do have manicures, pedicures, detox mask, beard trim, shave, style and shampoos, a back wax, nose wax, ear wax, chest wax.
Yeah, there's like 30 different things on this pamphlet. Color, gray blending, young's men's cut, gentleman cut, signature cut, facial. And on the barber services, there's a highball shave, standard shave, haircut, and beard trim, as well as like a few other select ones.
Every client's different. So when they come in, they may have a selection to choose from. It might be timing. They might need to get in and out a little quicker, so they're going to choose the 45-minute service versus the hour. But yeah, we do quite a bit. Anything for hair, skin, and nails for men.
Yeah, that's something that I noticed differently too, is all the barbershops that I've gone on, there's no like pamphlet or like services that's just flat out in the open. It's like everything's kind of individualized into the barber. So it's almost like a bunch of independent contractors are working within one area, where this is almost like a one-stop shop and they're working under you and you guys are all on the same page.
Correct. We do have a couple independent contractors, which is great to offer them an opportunity to just rent their chair in our business. But we do have more employees, and we have great employees. We work as a team. We really strive to just work well together. Even when we interview people, it's very important as they come in that they will fit in with the team. They will, it makes a big difference.
Are there any prerequisites that barbers or hairstylists need in order to fit into your salon to get hired?
Well, of course, they have to have a license. Okay. So you have to have a barber's license or a stylist license, and they're different. So barber school is a little bit different. They offer haircuts and shaves. Styling school or cosmetology school, you can do your haircuts, manicures, pedicures, colors, waxing, facials, and stuff like that. So it's a little limited. That's why in Nevada, they keep us separated. So we can't since I'm a stylist, I can't work right next to a barber. The barber has to be in a separate room.
It's an interesting dynamic because of that. You would think like there's nothing really affecting it, even though they're working next to each other, but maybe it's like the overall atmosphere that has to do with it.
I want to say, because it has me curious too. I want to say it's because the barbers use a straight edge razor. So if I haven't been trained as a barber and I'm just a stylist, maybe I don't know the effects of me possibly bumping into him, or I think there's more to it. I think it's more of a safety precaution.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Say I never thought of it, but now that you have presented it that way, that's probably the more logical reason.
Because I just can't think of any other reason other than.
Is there
safety.
more spacing that the barbers need in between each other compared to stylists?
No, the only thing that they require, they have to have running water 3 feet from the chair. So I'm sure that's because they need to shave and have to have the water for their services, but also maybe it's because if there is some kind of nick on the skin, that there is some water available. So yeah, just different rules. So it's when you build out the salon, you have 2 different rules and guidelines that you have to go by. On the salon side, there is no rule of running water, of how far it has to be from the chair. So we have created a shampoo area. So as we are finished with our cut, we'll go ahead and take our client just back to the shampoo area. It's kind of quiet back there. It's relaxing.
How many hours of schooling do you need before you can become licensed?
2,100 hours
Holy Jesus.
For a stylist, and I'm unsure, I want to say 1,800 as a barber in Nevada.
That is crazy. That's more than police officers. I just had a man on the previous show. He owns a company called Homey that does real estate services. And he was telling me to get your real estate license takes like 15 hours to get.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
that's it?
Yeah, literally. So you guys are like, what is this? I'm bad at math, but it's like 100 times more.
14 months, pretty much.
That's crazy.
And if you miss a day, you have to make up those hours. So it just goes by the hours. You have to put the hours in, and then you graduate, and then move on. So
it's interesting. Where did you go to stylist school at?
In Iowa. It was called La James Beauty College. So that's where I went to school at.
Are they all pretty similar across the board, or is there signatures to each one?
I was only at a previous school for 3 or 4 months before I started at La James. And then I moved. I did a lot of pedicures and manicures at that first school just because it was in an area where there was a lot of tourists. And it was by a Great Lakes area. Okay. So at the school I was at, I was like, wow, I am doing a ton of manicures and pedicures. I'm not really learning the stuff that I really want to learn. And there was a group of us girls, there was 4 of us that decided, hey, let's just transfer schools. So we moved 2 hours away, and there was 3 of us that transferred, and we're very happy.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. So, all right, you get past school and you hire people. How do you schedule your barbers and stylists? Do they come in and is it like a set schedule where they work 5 days a week, or do they come in based off their clientele?
Good question. I'm noticing barbers work longer days than stylists. Barbers will work open to close every day.
They're the hustlers.
They are. And stylists, we're used to working 8-hour days. Some of the girls, they'll want to work a little bit more, but yeah, it's kind of the difference of barbers and stylists.
Do you think it's because stylists, they have to be a little bit more crafty, so maybe uses a little bit more mental power?
I'm not sure. The barbers generally take Sundays and Mondays off as well. So most barber shops are closed Mondays, but we're actually open 7 days a week. So we try to accommodate for our customers. Sundays, I'm not sure if most barber shops are closed, but we're also open on Sundays too.
I think that's a smart decision, being in a city that's 24/7. People's work shifts are just all across the board.
Right.
Different.
Yeah, we're definitely picking up nights and evenings are starting to get booked up. So that's pretty common. We'll fill in those hours first, and then the overflow will start filling in our slower days, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, that's before COVID. I was working at a nightclub, so like Sundays and Mondays would have been the best days for myself to go to.
Yep, totally, because you guys are off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. We're open from 9:30 to 8, Monday through Friday, Saturday to 10 to 6, Sunday 11 to 4. We're going to start extending our hours a little bit for sure on Sundays because we get a lot of phone calls an hour before closing. So I think our guests want to come in later in the day on Sundays, but it is a good day for men to come in for packages. We see a lot of haircuts, shaves, manicure, pedicure packages. So they come in and they'll spend 2 to 3 hours, with us and
that's awesome.
Just get treated. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like a little staycation.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Just thinking out loud here, have you guys ever considered doing night hours, or maybe is that against regulation to accommodate the night owls of the city?
I thought about that. If we can get the volume to where we need to be, we could open up like an after hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen that anywhere, but I always think of that, and I never thought of it until I started working nightlife, and I was like, man, all these places, they need some sort of night.
I think it would be fun for especially, let's say there's groups of guys that come into town. If I could connect with maybe somebody that would connect me with that group, they could come in before they went out and kind of got ready. We would cut their hair, style them, and, send them out to the club.
Oh, how fresh out, fresh I'd feel getting a haircut and going right into the club. Oh, you can take on the world.
And you can have a beverage, while you're getting your haircut too. So, but yeah, that's definitely something that I'm open to. We just have to have more volume during the daytime hours to make sense of that.
That makes sense. I think over time, you'll be able to expand.
For sure.
Especially if you ever open up another location, even diving down to the strip or close proximity.
Yeah, I would say, we've only been open for 1 year. We'll have a better judgment after our second year of when we could open another location, but it is definitely in the works.
So after being open for a year, outside of COVID, what is the biggest... how do I put this? What is the biggest thing about the business that you didn't expect to happen or that you had to overcome?
Early on in our business, there was an event that happened with one of my employees, and he ended up passing. That was one of the hardest things I went through as an owner or even a manager. So I still stay close to his family. So,
it's tough. There's always so many things that happen throughout life.
Yeah, there is. And that experience, I just haven't experienced before. So it was a tragic time for us. And, it was shortly after we opened our doors, like 6 weeks. So we went through quite a bit our first year. And then, obviously we got COVID and Let me think if there's any other expected. Not really. I guess it takes a little longer than what you expect when you open your doors. Everybody wants a flow of customers coming in, but it's a lot of work. You have to retain them. You have to find them, and get them in the doors first. And then obviously once they come in, we provide excellent service and whatnot, and a lot of extras, amenities too. So I would just say in business, you just got to expect to hit some bumps.
Yeah, it's like what Bill Gates says, his famous quote, where it's like you overestimate what you can do in 1 year, but you underestimate what you can do in 10.
Yeah.
That's just like human nature.
You have to have tough skin. You have to be able to take all the hits. No matter what hit it is, it could be COVID. You got to take the hit, and you got to be able to pick yourself up the next day and your team, because it's not just me. It's my team. Everything I do, it's my team. I always say we. So we just have to make sure, with every bump that we hit, that we take care of our people.
Yeah, something too, as being a previous business owner, it's the hardest part about being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, isn't actually the functioning business itself, the operations. It's how to manage people. And it's not just your employees, it's also the customers, how they react. And you almost have to play like a sociologist as well to understand how your customers are going to think.
Right. And I would say that's the biggest part of the business, treating people well, communicating well with them, especially if it's a guest sitting in your chair, having a good consultation with them, asking them plenty of questions and whatnot. So
how do you go about attracting new customers?
We do a lot of digital marketing. I have a marketing team. So Google AdWords, Facebook, Instagram, Yelp has been really good for us.
It's a lot of trial and error. It's something that I've learned as well.
It is, but my marketing team, they've been in business for years. So one of my customers had introduced me to his marketing team. So that's who I went with, and they've been doing great for us. Like I said, we're busier at my shop than at any other shop that I've worked at in Las Vegas, and we've only been open for 1 year.
It's a fantastic milestone.
Yeah, I feel good about that, and I always tell my manager, "You're doing awesome." We've only been open for 1 year, and we've already accumulated enough customers, versus a business that may have been open for 8 to 10 years. So we just keep pushing every day. We just keep pushing.
Yeah, it just shows a necessity or a need for something of a higher status, and it's just a full encompassing service.
Correct.
Of salon barbers. Is there anything else that you plan maybe in the future, or are you just going to stick to this model as far as barber services and hairstylist services?
Definitely just stick to this model. There's not a lot of places in Las Vegas that have a salon, a men's salon and a men's barbershop in one business. I can't think of we cater just to men, but we do have women that come in with short hair and they get cuts too. So I guess.
So as far as men's grooming, how has it changed since you've started? You said you started back in 2003, correct?
Yep, I started back in 2003.
So over 17 years, how has men's grooming as an industry changed?
You just see more and more men taking care of their nails or their feet or maybe even their skin. Maybe it's out here in this part of the industry too. We live in Las Vegas, so everybody wants to look good. They have to have their hair cut mainly for their job as well. We just kind of cater to the men and do as many services as we can for hair care and skin care.
Yeah, the signature fuckboy haircut is something that is trending now. And I'm one that also has the fuckboy haircut, which is just the standard strip haircut where it has the tapered sides and kind of like some sort of style-esque on the top.
Kind of mess it up a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
The hard part is going out, I have noticed. So I always encourage my guys, like, hey, I haven't seen anybody really with the hard part in, so they're kind of getting away with that. That lasted a while. I was a good like 5-6 years.
Is that the little swoosh over the top?
Yeah, where they kind of parted it off to one
Okay,
side,
yeah.
and then they had the line cut in their hair for their part. It looked nice and sharp. It still does.
Oh, when we first opened Omnia, it's probably 50% of the men's staff had that.
I believe it. Yep.
I just stayed the traditional, just like faux hawk. I actually used to have long hair down to like my butt, like
really?
all the way through high school.
What did you do with it? Just did you pull it back a lot?
I parted in the middle, and then I put in a ponytail when I played football and ran track.
Okay.
But my parents were hippies, and so they never let me get a haircut. But
wow.
once I was about to go to college, I was like, all right, this needs to change.
Yeah.
It's immediately.
Right.
That's funny. But now I see men's hair, like a lot of guys that start doing the like the man bun where they grow it out and bun it up a little bit is becoming a little bit more popular.
Yeah, I think that was a big phase a couple years ago. It's starting to kind of die out a little bit, but you still see it. I like the look of it. So
Do you see any new trends that maybe haven't become mainstream yet?
not really like as in a hard part or anything like that, but just short kind of fades on the sides, longer style on the top, so they can actually style it, kind of mess it up, part it. They can wear a pompadour or slick it back.
What's a pompadour?
It's where the front, has a lot more volume in it and kind of gives you a big,
it's like a little like fluff kind of.
Yes, a fluff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know all the technical terms, so I gotta throw something on there.
Yes, and it makes a big difference in styling products too. That you use. So most men, they're kind of easy, they're simple, so they want something easy that they can do at home. So we will show them how to use the blow dryer and how much product they should be using in their hair so that they're not overusing it and wasting it. And you only really need a dime size. How much are you using in your hair?
Probably about a dime size.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
honestly, the only products I use is like whatever my barber recommends, because I'm like, I go online and I go on Amazon or whatever and I see all these different products and I'm like, I have no idea what the difference is between all of these, between pastes and what are like pomades and some
paste, pomades. You've got low shine, high shine, gels. Those are really going out. I don't really see anybody really wearing gel anymore, but definitely your pomades, your paste, your waxes. And it depends on what look you're going for. If you're going out at night, you might want a little bit of shine. If it's just a daytime look for a guy, he wants it more of a matte look. He doesn't want to draw that much attention to his hair. So,
what's the selection process for the products used at Gentleman Jax's?
The selection product, or explain that to me.
So like, how do you go about choosing select products? Is there a sponsorship or was it your decision?
My manager and I, we kind of decided, and then also our staff, we talked to them, asked what kind of products that they like to use, because they're the ones going to be using it on their clients and whatnot. So we'll bring in a few products that they need and stuff like that. So
okay.
Right now we use the main Tame. That's kind of been our top seller. So it's a real simple line. I think they have like 6 products, but for men, that's exactly what men want.
Yeah, we want simple, easy,
Yes.
1 out of 3 options.
It's either this shampoo or this shampoo. You get 2 options.
That's exactly
one or the other.
It's exactly what we need. Just the more simplicity, the better. That's you kind of have the men's psychology down to pat.
Also, men they might not remember the name of the product, but they'll remember the color of the lid. Have you ever done that?
Yeah,
before?
That's exact. I don't even, the one that's in my bathroom, I don't even know the name. Yep. It was just the picture that my barber had sent me, Caddy sent me.
It's crazy how men will do that. They don't know what's in the product or what it really does, but they know what color the lid is.
It's white, black, and orange.
Yeah.
I can tell you. I don't know the name.
But they're going to listen to their barber or their hairstylist, because we are the ones that educate you guys on what you need for your hair. Mm-hmm. So especially in the desert, I always encourage everybody to use like moisturizing shampoos, because your hair always dries out in the winter or in the summer, because it's warmer. And then also in the winter, we still live in the desert. So just always using moisturizing shampoo and conditioner is always good for you.
Yeah, dry skin is something that's just always happens. That happens to me, especially in the winter too. Like my hands just get super dry and face. It's bad.
Yeah, you'll want to always, use lotions, of course. So I use coconut oil out here in the desert.
Really?
You use that?
Should I?
You should try it.
Should I?
Yeah, I like it. My skin feels good. It's never really dry. The only problem is if you put too much on as you're getting dressed, it kind of gets on your clothes.
Sticks.
Yeah, gets on your clothes a little bit.
Like just straight coconut oil that you could just like buy from the store.
Yeah, like that you can cook it, that you can use for cooking.
And you put that face too? Or
At night, I do my face. Yeah, and I always encourage my clients, especially when they come in for pedicures. If they've got really rough feet, just set some lotion by your bed at night and make sure you're just putting it on every night on your feet, because when you come in for your pedicures, we can remove only so much of the callus part that'll come off. So you got to take a little bit of time at home too.
You know, I'm probably going to get blasted for saying this, but I don't think I've ever had a manicure or pedicure in my life. No, can you take me through the process?
God.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told you I'm a caveman. I've slowly grown out of it.
And a lot of men, they do say that. So with our pedicures last 45 minutes. They come in, they soak their feet. We have some Epsom salt. We've got some lavenders, whatever you feel like you want for that day. And we'll soak their feet for about 10 minutes. We'll cut their nails. We'll push the cuticle back. We'll cut the cuticle extra skin off. We'll file. We'll buff. We massage the foot and the leg. We put the hot towel on with a mask. We do the same thing with the manicure, but it comes with a paraffin dip, which is a hot wax. So after we trim their nails and we file them down and we buff them, make them look all pretty, and then we'll put a hot wax on them, let them sit for 10 minutes, and then we'll massage their hands just for relaxation. So, and women love a man that have nice nails. They do. See,
I'll
yours look good.
Thank you. Yeah,
They're short.
I clip them. Yeah, I clip them. But I don't think I've ever had a manicure or anything like
Really?
or pedicure. No, I need to change that. I'm gonna have to come through and figure
and see
that
how
out.
many ladies notice, because women notice stuff like that. You know, a shine on a man's nails, knowing that he takes care of himself is attractive.
Duly noted. I'll definitely remember that. I'm definitely gonna come down then and get that for a first
Good.
time. I'll
treat you. I'll treat you.
I would
we'll
love
set you up for a little spa day
Yes, I would love
Okay.
that.
soon, because you never know if we're going to be open next week. I'm just.
God.
We will. I'm just keeping positive. So.
Yeah, I'm praying for everyone. They started hammering down on gyms. The gym that I go to, today we're recording on what's today, the 16th?
Yes.
Yeah, so on Monday, they started full force requiring face masks at the gym.
Yeah.
And I was there on Sunday and it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So I think they probably got a memo sent down to them and they're starting to translate that out to other businesses as well.
Correct. And I know the gym that I go to, they mentioned that they're on the watch list. So, which means I think at any moment, if the city feels like, hey, they're not being safe, they could just shut them down. So we're required to wear masks now walking into the gym, and then you can work out without your mask, and then you need to put your mask back in walking back out.
Yeah, it's such a tough scenario. I was just having this conversation on Twitter the other day about restaurants and like, well, what's the point of having the bar closed when people are out eating food? And I was like, the point of closing the bar was that people don't congregate up there, right? But if people who are eating food aren't wearing a mask in an AC controlled environment, then that's just getting pushed around the room anyway. So it almost like defeats the purpose. So you have to like make sure your masks are always on.
Yeah, so we keep our mask always
that's
on
why I
in
said
our
it's
shop.
proper.
Yeah,
it's proper for you guys.
I just feel like that's the best way for now until we get a vaccine out. You know, at restaurants, I have been to a couple of restaurants. You know, you walk in, you have your mask, you can take it off at the table. They have to be open, and this is just a way for them to stay open.
Yeah.
It's not easy for businesses to survive right now, and they're doing the best that they can. So it doesn't bother me at all to put a mask on, to walk in. I'll sit down, eat. I think that they have a 6-person restriction right now. There can
On
only
the
be,
table size?
Yeah. I think just 6 people per table.
Yeah, I've been going outside if that is an option, but I have been taking the risk and going out anyways because we're humans and we need that social interaction.
Yeah,
and
you have to get out. You have to be around people for your mental health and just to feel good. So, it's good for me. I guess I was excited when I went back to work just to be able to interact with people again.
Yes, there's been such a focus on mental health during this crisis. And, you see that translated a lot through social media and just people lashing out. I mean, people already beforehand lashed out, but now it's even more. It's because you're just stuck at home with your thoughts, and that's not how human nature is at all.
And if you're not meditating, you should be, or trying to do some yoga. I think it's very important for self care. You have to take care of yourself to be better, or even to be good to somebody else or others around you. So it's important for mental health, especially right now. We're going through a lot.
Do you meditate or do yoga?
Yeah, I do both. So
Really?
I actually just started doing yoga over the shutdown. So it's been great for me. I've been able to kind of mentally just prepare for things going on. It does my body wonderful. Like, I'm a lot more flexible. So I'll continue to do that.
Is fitness one of your interests? I mean, you're very in
Yes.
shape.
Thank you. Actually, you know what? I did a fitness show in February.
Really?
Yeah, I did a bikini contest. So it was out here in Las Vegas at the Orleans. I came in first place. I was shocked.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I worked out so hard and told myself, I just don't want to come in last. As long as I don't come in last, I would be happy with the turnout.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was definitely something that I had to really just kind of self-prepare for. You really had to focus on that. I only had like maybe 3 cheat days in 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah. That was tough.
What drew you the inspiration to do a competition?
So I was just working out every day, and I thought, you know what? I'm 40 now. I just turned 40.
Wow, you do not look 40
I
at
know.
all. Amazing.
Thank you. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to give it a shot. So I just stuck with it. I ate healthy every single day. They put me on a very strict diet. I've never been on a diet in my life. And then they put me on this diet that was like 1,200 calories. So I was lightheaded. Sometimes I would go to the gym and I would have to step off the stairs just because I didn't have enough energy. So it was tough, but it definitely was something I'm very proud of.
Did you have a professional trainer, or was it through friends?
So I had a coach that did my posing, helped me with my posing, and I had a coach for my meal preps, and then I just trained myself.
Wow.
So she gave me like my cardio that I had to do. So I did 50 minutes total of cardio each day. So 30 on the stairs and then 20 on the treadmill. And they were set at her settings that she wanted me at. And then the diet. And then I continued my weight training.
What? So you said you had 5 cheat days?
Yeah, like 3 cheat days out of 5 months.
What was the go-to cheat day?
Well, I had sushi once for sure. And then the holidays. It was December and January before my show, so I was able to eat. I was able to eat Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving dinner. But even now, my stomach is not back to normal yet. I can't eat regular food yet, so I'm still kind of working my way out of the diet into some normal food or regular food.
You're on like a quasi diet right now. You're kind of like
eating regular food. I want regular food, but it hurts my stomach.
That's funny. There was a football player the other day, Von Miller. He had to miss his training because he said that he ate mozzarella sticks. And when he was interviewed by the press, he was like, "You can't put regular gasoline in a supercar."
Oh, no, that's cute. That's funny. Yeah, you have to put good fuel in because you won't make it through the day at all.
Yeah, your body it rejects it. There is a few times, I don't really eat typically that much red meat, but there was a time where I tried cutting it out completely for a few months. And
How did you feel?
I enjoyed it. I felt pretty good. There were a few times just from like the lack of iron where I felt tired. And so I started supplementing with it that I didn't realize it. But the day that I tried to go back and eat red meat, my body just rejected everything.
Okay.
It was not good.
Yeah.
I felt like crap for like 2 days.
Yes. So funny you say that. Quarantine started and my daughter's 12 and she started baking over quarantine. My stomach hurt so bad the first week because I was eating cinnamon rolls. I was eating cookies and whatnot. So I would wake up with my stomach not feeling good. And I told myself, I just can't continue to do this. So I eat regularly healthy still, and then I may have a couple cookies or whatnot, but I can't eat a full day of regular food yet.
That stuff. Have you ever done any weird diets or eccentric ones like
No, this
keto
was my first
or
diet
vegan or
I've
anything?
ever been
I guess
on.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So when she put me on this diet, I was like, holy smokes. Like I'm having chicken and vegetables and the only carb I could have was sweet potato and rice. That was my diet.
It's the two good ones though.
Yeah. It did the job. It gave me the energy and fueled me. So
I've gone on a few diets like that. I never went through competitions, but just to get fit, and I had to put hot sauce on everything.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I have to Tabasco.
yep, mustard. You got to give it some flavor.
Or else you start going crazy.
You kind of do, but for some reason, I'm okay with eating, knowing that I'm doing it this is what I have to put in me for the show. So even now, the employees that are at the salon and stuff, they're like, I don't know how you do it. You don't even season your food. You just eat chicken and a vegetable, and then you have your sweet potato. And I said, yeah, I'm just so used to it, So it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's you have to kind of switch your perspective on food and look at it more as like a fuel than it is for the taste.
Yes. So I definitely fuel my body versus eat for pleasure. I might have a cheat meal once a week. So just want to continue to stay healthy. I don't want to give my 6-pack up. I'm just going to lie. Like, I don't want to do it. I worked so hard for it, and I ate so healthy, and I worked out salon for it. I just don't want it to go away.
Oh, it's so depressing when it goes away. You feel like
Really?
crap. Oh,
Okay.
It's tough. I've gone through multiple phases of it, especially when I was in shape for Omnia. That was probably like one of my peaks. But after working there for a few years and you start eating banquet food all the time, or you just start eating like crap and it goes away, and you're just like, man, like, the hard work that you need to put back into it, and it takes months.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes months. So you just got to stick with it and just fight through the times where you don't want to work out, but you just have to. There's an end goal, and you have to remember the end goal, and you just work for it every day, because nothing comes easy.
Yeah, I've gone through all the diets. I'm a big proponent of trying something new. So I did when I was in college, I did keto for like 9 months, and I went through those phases. I tried veganism for like 2 months. I did carnivore diet, but the most practical one that I do now is intermittent fasting.
Okay.
I like that the most, where I generally do like 14 hours.
So you just won't eat anything for 14 hours, and then when you do, what do you normally have?
I eat pretty healthy. You see, I have apples and avocados, and there's like bread and eggs and chicken. I'll only eat red meat typically when I go out to eat.
Okay.
That's treat
your
it
cheat meal.
That's like the cheat meal. Yeah. Actually, I think today's gonna be cheat day. I'm probably gonna go get donuts.
Awesome. That's a really big cheat day.
Yeah.
Donuts.
Pink box. I'll go and buy like 6 donuts and eat all of them. It's so
And then
bad.
I sometimes I'll eat. I had 3 cupcakes last Friday. I felt so bad the next day, but I don't know. You have to do it sometimes, but then you just feel bad.
You do, but sometimes your body really needs it. It's like it's called super
lift.
super compensation, when your insulin levels drop like to like a very severe low level. You have to put all those carbs back in to spike it back up, and it's natural for your body. And like for guys, you wake up and you'll actually be like, you'll see your muscles grow like pretty fast because of that. So it's almost like
crazy
a boost.
Because when I did the fitness show, they didn't have me on any sugar, 0. I couldn't even have any fruit.
Oh.
So I was depleted by the time showtime came around.
You feel so like lethargic and hazy.
You're lethargic, you're weak. They have you drinking Pedialyte. So you definitely need the carbs and the energy and the nutrients.
Yeah, I was war on carbs when I first got into college for a long time, but now I've slowly just accepted that you need it more than anything.
Yeah, good carbs. Good carbs.
You got to be healthy. Are you ever going to do another competition when this is all over? The COVID thing?
For me, I think it was just a one-time thing.
Personal milestone?
Yeah. I wanted to see if I could do it. I'm still continuing the diet. I still do the same exact workout. So for me, it wasn't about just getting up on stage. It was something more personal. For me, I could care less to get up on stage and, pose and stuff like that. So I would prefer not to go upstage, to be honest. I would rather just go through all of the hard work and whatnot and know that I did it for me instead of the stage. But it was an experience that I'll never forget. So I'm very grateful that I had a great team, even at the salon. They were encouraging. They didn't try to get me to cheat to eat, they stuck with me.
And when you go out and do something like that, it's really about your support system.
My kids, my daughter did amazing. So anytime that I really wanted to cheat, she was there like, Mom, are you sure you want that? And then even prepping for the show the week before, she helped me get my bags packed. She was there I would pose for her at home. My son is 17. He didn't really care to really watch mom pose. So he was like, no. So, but my daughter, it was exciting for her. So she would be my coach kind of at home. But she was great. So she went to the show with me. She got, the day before she went to the spray tan with me. She was with me the whole entire time. So I think it was incredible for her to see that too, because I think she's going to be kind of like Mom. She's driven. She wants to try things that maybe don't come easy, but it's some work, because she's got that in her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great testament to your character.
Yeah. And I think they need to see that to be encouraged to do things for themselves as they grow up.
Yeah, it's something that you don't realize is the way that you turn out is usually a reflection of how you grew up and things that you did, the way that you were primed by your parents.
Right. So I try to involve her. I involve both of the kids into the business. They both help. My son does all the maintenance work, changes out lights, fixes chairs, whatever he needs to do. That's his part. My daughter will come in days, just to help out folding laundry and sweeping up and stuff. So yeah, they enjoy having the business too.
Yeah, you got to help them younger. It's like I used to go to my grandparents' house when I was younger and like do yard work, and it builds character, as much as you hate to say it, like when our parents used to lash on us of doing chores, you're like, it builds character. And you're like, why?
And we're from Iowa. So my son grew up scooping snow, shoveling out our driveway in the mornings, mowing the yard, doing the leaves in the fall, cutting down trees. So I'm glad he experienced all that stuff, and he learned that back in the Midwest, because out here, you don't get those opportunities to learn all of that stuff. As a child, we live in the desert. We don't have grass in our yard. We don't have anything for him to mow or scoop or whatnot. So this is easy for us living out here.
It's good to get him out and familiar with nature. That's an issue with a lot of Gen Zers right now, is they didn't grow up and play outside or anything like that. They just sat at home all day, and so they started developing those like social anxieties or those like decommittal ways towards something where they just like they have an issue with commitment to it.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad that they experienced those stuff back in the Midwest. Out here, kids, they don't have as many chores, I don't believe. You got to keep your house and your room clean, but what else outside is there to do?
Dusting. I did a bunch of dusting. That's about it. Yeah. That's the only general upkeep.
My parents still live out in the country in Iowa, so every summer my children normally go back to Iowa, spend the summer with grandma and grandpa, and they have to clean chickens. Yeah, so it's really weird.
That sounds like a process.
It is. So my daughter was petrified when she came home from the first summer of going back home, and she had to clean chickens because, they're live, and my dad has to take them and take their head, put it, he has like two little nails on like a stump of wood, and then he puts their neck in it and he chops. Oh yeah. So chops it off.
A little gory.
And then the chicken will flop around, and then you take it and you put it in boiling water, and then you can pluck the feathers off.
Really?
And then my mom would go ahead and do the gutting part. So it's definitely a different culture, or
That's
whatnot.
Not
in
something you'll see out here at all.
You don't see that out here. So I'm glad that they got to see that, and they had to work. My son will help chop wood and stuff like that for my dad. So whatever he has to do. So.
Do you think those things from like your childhood have kind of inspired you to be a go-getter?
I think so. Yeah, my dad was always a hard worker. We worked hard. For me growing up with 3 brothers and 1 sister, there was 5 of us kids. I didn't have to go in the field, but if I wanted to, I could. So I did. I went and picked rock with the boys. I walked beans. I did some of that boy stuff. So I think it really encouraged me and got me to the point where I can feel good about myself and feel strong about moving forward as a woman because it was scary to open my own business as a woman, especially with 2 children. So I think my childhood past and stuff has definitely played a big part in my career.
It's such a leap of faith going into a business. And even if you've been familiar with it, like you've been doing it for 17 years or been 16 years before you'd opened it, there's still another level above that you don't even realize, the business side to it.
Yeah, so that was the side that I wasn't familiar with before. So I managed for years and years and years, and now I get to see the business side. And in business, nothing runs smooth. You just got to know that. So there's always a phone call that you're going to have to make to correct something, a payment. There's always billing issues. There's always just something to do on the business side. So I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful that I got this opportunity.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of courage that you had to do.
I pray a lot. I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of just self-care things, because you have to mentally, you have to be prepared for anything.
Mm-hmm. So as a female business owner of men's grooming, was there any times on the business side that you felt that somebody was trying to take advantage of you because maybe you were a woman, or maybe you were just new at it, as far as like working with contractors or anything like that?
I would say so. I would say in the beginning, just working with contractors and just me being a woman, and I'm pretty fairly young for a business owner too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had to kind of go through some ropes, as in you get to know who's on your team and who's not on your team. As in, somebody may have charged me an extra $5,000 to $10,000 because I'm a woman, they think, and they, stuff like that. So yeah, we're past that. I've got a really good, solid team. I have great people that work for me on that aspect. So it did happen, yeah. Unfortunately.
It's unfortunate.
But also we're in a bigger city too, and it's in Las Vegas. My issues that I had here with construction, I probably would have never had back home.
Yeah, it's out here. It's a bigger prize pool, so people are trying to find any way to get into that pool and claim their coins out of it, even if it isn't somebody else's pot within that.
Yeah, so you just have to be careful. Referrals through friends is best. Somebody that maybe they've done some work for your friend or somebody that so.
Yeah, it's funny how now society's progressed where the people on TV or the talking heads or anything are the ones that you don't want to listen to, but somebody, who's in a comment section online or your friend is somebody that you decide to trust more. Yep.
Just do your research. Look at reviews, talk to people that they've done work for, and I think it's just part of being a business owner. I think being a woman has, some people may feel like they could take advantage of me, but at the end of the day, I have a very good support system, as in a lot of business people that I surround myself with. So if they think they're going to pull a fast one over me, I have a lot of people that I will converse with before I make a decision.
Yes, the consultation's really, really key, and just not making large decisions by yourself. That was an issue that I had faced through a few of my businesses, was just trying to take everything head on. But you need to have those outside perspectives, because there's a lot of things that you can overlook just because of your own confirmation biases.
Completely. You always want to surround yourself with the ones that are doing better than you, because then it gives you something to work for, is what I think. And then also, they've probably experienced the same things that you're going to go through. So if you can take some advice from somebody that's already went through it, so that you don't have to make that mistake yourself, that's the best way to go. You just have to make sure that person is definitely on your team that's giving you the advice.
Yes, it's Steve Jobs used to famously say that he hires people much smarter than him, because if you surround yourself with people who aren't above your level, then they're just going to be the yes man, yes woman, and tell you yes that everything is right, even though it's not. You need to have that challenge a little bit.
You always want to challenge yourself. You always want to push and be better than what you were yesterday. That's my motto. I want to be the best person. I feel like my staff, they really enjoy working for me, because I treat them well. I understand. I listen to them. I do hair myself. I know the business, and I'm just grateful that they enjoy working for me.
Yes, I can tell just through this conversation that you're a lovely business owner.
Thank you.
And probably an awesome stylist as well. Do you still go on the floor every once in a while?
I do. I cut hair Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have a clientele that I've built in the last 4 or 5 years, so I definitely continue to provide them services.
They're the loyalists.
Yeah, they're just part of my family now. You know, I enjoy them coming in. It's like Anthony, like he's like a brother to me now. You know,
Shout out Anthony.
Yes, Anthony. So yeah, it's been great. So
that's awesome. I really admire that. Admire your work ethic, and I really pray that nothing shuts down. But I know, regardless of what happens, through your tenacity, that you will overcome any obstacle along the way.
It's part of life. Whatever happens, we're still going to be here. I let my manager know what if we shut down again, we're still reopening. I have a really good manager in place. So we're going to just get through it. That's all we can do.
That you will. Before we go, I always ask 2 questions to everyone. They're similar, and then how everyone can get connected. The year is 2030. What does the ecosystem of Gentleman Jacks look like?
In 2030?
Yep, 10-year outlook.
10-year outlook. I would say in 10 years, we will have at least 2 more locations, and maybe we'll have that night.
Yes.
What would we call it?
The night owl shop.
After hours.
After
Maybe
hours.
we could have after hours. I want to get it big into some wedding events, cater to parties. We have kind of not partnered up with a woman that is affiliated with some of the retired Raider players.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we did have some events lined up over this COVID and quarantine stuff that hopefully once we reopen again or life gets happening again, that we can connect with them. We've been working with Ron Brown and Jay Schroeder.
Who are they?
Retired NFL players.
Okay.
So we have events and they come up or they show up and we just kind of network with them. They do some golfing tournaments, so we go to that. So we just kind of network with them. We've got some things coming up for when the Raiders actually start playing. We may be tailgating with some of the retired players at Gentleman Jacks. We'll have a tailgating trailer down there. So.
Yeah, as we were saying before, and now that there's going to be that new normal, I think those personalized mobile services will be more key to the business moving forward than anything.
Right. Although mobile services aren't allowed at home.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's a law?
Yes, that's from State Board of the Cosmetology Board and the Barbering Board, unless they are a shut-in or it's, somebody maybe in the hospital or something like that. Other than that, no, we're not supposed to be going to homes.
Huh, I did not know that.
Yeah, nobody knows that.
Wow, it still happens. So.
So even through COVID, the shutdown, I want to say the Cosmetology Board put out like a $5,000 fine if they were caught doing services at somebody's home.
Wow, I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah, we know it happens, but it's, just.
Yeah, once people go into survival mode, the laws kind of are just a background.
Yeah. If we shut down again, I have a feeling that our whole city will be cutting at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people need their haircut and they need to see their
People need to
pseudotherapist.
work,
Yeah.
too.
People need to survive.
Yeah, yep.
I respect that. And the last question is, what does Las Vegas mean to you?
Las Vegas has so much opportunity here. It's such a great place to grow a business. I feel like I'll be very successful here, and I'm glad I made the move because the opportunity, I never had this opportunity back home that we have in Las Vegas.
It's a growing, what's it called, a metropolis.
Yeah.
It's growing faster. And it's right before COVID happened, it was starting to branch out of just relying solely on the tourism industry, even though now it's probably going to take a little bit longer, but there's no doubt in 5 years, 10 years, there's going to be multiple industries outside of tourism that are going to be a staple of Vegas.
Right. And look, we just got the Raiders Stadium built. So that's something for us to look forward to. And that's going to draw a lot of people coming into Vegas for the home games or whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited to see kind of what's happening in the future for us.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind. How can everyone reach out to you or get involved with Gentleman Jacks?
You can reach out to us through social media at Gentleman Jacks. You can reach out to me personally. By calling Gentleman Jacks. The number is 702-331-6925. You could also email us at gentlemanjacks@yahoo.com. And we're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, things like that.
Cool. I will definitely tag all of that in the bottom.
Also, we spelled gentleman. It's MAN, and then Jax is JAXS. So you just got to put the correct spelling in there, and you should be able to find us pretty easily.
Yep. Gentleman Jaxes.
Yep. Yes.
Tanna, I thank you for this conversation, agreeing to come down.
You're welcome.
This is a
you.
beautiful conversation. And like I said, there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to be successful and the business growing forward.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.